Om Namo Narayana. Welcome back. Today we're going to be reading the Muktika Upanishad. There is three sections, and I think we're going to be keeping that the way it is over three videos. So here is the first section. In the beautiful city of Ayodhya, in the center of a pavilion set with gems, together with Sita, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna, was Rama seated, glorified day and night by sages like Sanaka, Vashista, and Sukha, as well as other devotees. They were unchanging witnesses of thousands of modifications of the intellect, and delighted in contemplating his form. At the end of the samadhi, Hanuman asked with devotion, "O Rama, you are the Supreme Being, of the nature of Sat Chit and Ananda. I desire to know your nature truly for liberation. Please tell me how I can be released from bondage without strain." Rama replied, "Well asked. I shall tell you. I am well established in Vedanta." Hanuman said, "What is Vedanta and where is it?" Rama replied, "The Vedas in all their great extent are my breath. Vedanta is well grounded in them, like oil in sesamum." Hanuman said, "How many are the Vedas and how many branches do they have? Of these, what are the Upanishads?" Rama replied, "The Vedas are four. There are many branches, and the Upanishads exist in them. The Rig Veda has 21 branches, the Yajas has 109, Sama has 1,000, and Atharva has 50. Each branch has one Upanishad. Even by reading one verse of them with devotion, one gets the status of union with me, hard to get even by sages." Hanuman then said, "O Lord Rama, sages speak differently. Some say there is only one kind of liberation. Others say it cannot be got by worshipping your name, and by the Taraka mantra at Kashi. Others speak of Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, the inquiry into Vedanta Vakyas, etc." Rama said, "Liberation is of four kinds, but the only real type is Kaivalya. Anybody, even though leading a wicked life, attains Salokya, not other worlds, by worshipping my name. Dying in the sacred Ramanala in Kashi, he will get the Taraka mantra and also liberation without rebirth. On dying anywhere else, in Kashi, Maheshvara will utter the Taraka mantra in his right ear. He gets Sarupya with me as his sins are washed away. The same is called Salokya and Sarupya, persevering in good conduct with mind fixed upon me, loving me as the self of all. The twice-born gets nearer to me. This is called the three forms of liberation: Salokya, Sarupya, and Samipya. Meditating on my eternal form as prescribed by the teacher, one will surely achieve identity with me, like the insects changing into a bee. One will surely achieve identity with me. This alone is the liberation of identity, Sayugya, yielding the bliss of Brahman. All these four kinds of mukti will be got by worshipping me." Hanuman then asked, "But by what means is the Kaivalya kind of moksha got?" Rama replied, "The Mudukya is enough. If knowledge is not got from it, then study the 10 Upanishads. Getting knowledge very soon, you will reach my abode. If certainty is not got even then, study the 32 Upanishads and stop. If desiring moksha without the body, read the 108 Upanishads." Now hear their order. He then lists all 108 Upanishads. I will not be reading them here, just to make this video a little shorter. So we skip ahead to verse 43. These destroy three kinds of bhavana regarding the body, senses, and mind, respectively, as identified with Atman. The best of brahmanas will become Shivan Muktas if they study up to the destruction of Prabda, these 180 Upanishads from a guru, along with Shaktipada. Then in course of time they will get Videha Mukti, surely. These 108 are the essence of all Upanishads and can cut away all sins by merely hearing once. These cause release, whether read with or without knowledge. One may give away a kingdom, wealth, etc. to one who asks, but not these 108 to just anyone. To an unbeliever, ungrateful, of bad conduct, one against devotion to me, deluded by wrong scripture or lacking devotion to the Guru. But they shall be taught to one devoted to service, devotee of good conduct, birth, and wisdom. He should be well tested. A Rik verse on this says, the goddess of knowledge came to a Brahmana and said, protect me, I am your treasure, do not teach me to one who is jealous, dishonest, and deceitful, then I shall be powerful, but give it to one who is learned, careful, wise, and celibate, after examining him. And thus ends this section. Sorry for not reading all 108 Upanishads. If you want me to, um, it's not necessary. The order that is given here is the order that you will find the Upanishads. Whenever you see a list of them, unless it divides it up by major and minor, it'll be in the order that's here. This is the standard order. This channel, I haven't done it in order. Completely random. Actually, I don't even know if this book is. Yeah, this book's in order that I have, but I don't read it in order. You can see here's the ones that are left that I have to do. I have done the things on this channel based on what time I have to do them in. So if I have like a half hour and I know I'm not going to have any time to record for a few weeks, I'm not going to sit here and do the one that goes for 33 pages. Instead, I'll record the one that does half a page, and it is really easy to do. But if you ever find a list of them, the order that Rama gives here is there. So there's no reason for me to repeat this. It's easy information to find. Just Wikipedia it, if nothing else. There are some discrepancies. I will let you know. Like there's one Upanishad that's I think been counted twice in two forms or something. I think I've read both forms here. There's some variations on this, so sometimes you'll get like 109. There are also, I think, 320 Upanishads that I'm aware of, but a lot of them are sort of bits and pieces of other pre-existing Upanishads of the 108, or they're just a slice of something, or I don't know, they don't feel like first-hand Upanishads. They feel like something that's been copied from something else. So yeah, just want to mention that.